What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happened in the scale world of RC over the past week. If you enjoy the Scale News Update, hit the like button. Let's jump into this week's topics. First for this week, we've got two new body releases from JConcepts. The first one, we actually covered this on a sneak peek when they showed the new Corvair body at USTE in February. But now they've done a full release of this fully licensed Chevy Corvair. It's an odd choice for a crawler body if you don't follow Matt's Off-Road Recovery, a popular YouTube channel where he built the Morvair and an off-road Corvair. Exactly what it is, and they made a version of this without making a version of that one specifically, even though in their product photos they do have one that's painted similarly, but they also show one that's painted less similarly as their main cover photo. The details on this body look pretty good. They go into some detail in the description about it being a multi-piece mold, and it shows that it's got some real depth, especially in the grille and in the taillight area, kind of showing the shape of those taillights and grille being a little bit more difficult to mold, and they went to some extra steps to make sure that that got done appropriately. Whether or not you're a fan or you have any desire to build a Corvair crawler, different story. But if the Corvair isn't something you're after, they released another body option, and this one is a 2021 Bronco. Everyone's done a version of this now, I think, and this probably isn't the best looking version of all of them released. It's a very simple version of it, and it's got some line. It looks a little boxy. It looks a little flat in areas compared to the real ones or many of the other Lexan and hard body versions we've seen of them done so far. But it is probably the least expensive 1/10 scale version that you can get with a lot of the JConcepts bodies. Price is a big point. You know, they're much less expensive than many of the other options that you see. So maybe it's not the, most detailed or anything like that, but if you just kind of like the style and you're just looking to put something on your crawler, it'll knock, check that box off. If you're interested in either of these new body options from JConcepts, though, I'll put a link to them in the description below. Quite some time ago, we did talk about the release of the 1/32 scale Orlando TT, and I've seen this out and about and available in a couple of spots, but I hadn't really seen it like massively available, and it seems that a lot of places finally got them in stock or in hand. So if you've ever been searching for one of these, they're a kit. You actually have to build this super tiny little thing where you need some really tiny little screwdrivers and some readers, probably, depending on how long you've been building RC. But it's a kit that doesn't come with electronics or anything. You'll need to furnish all of that, find some suitable options for it. $90 for this kit. It is pretty incredible how much detail they did put into this 1/32 trophy truck, though. I mean, 1/24 scales, I don't know that any of them have this kind of detail. It's pretty impressive on that side. I have to give to them there. I've built a couple of Orlando products in the past. I'm not running to this one. But if you dig the style, it looks like they did a pretty good job. I mean, sway bars, it's a solid axle, trailing arm suspension, independent front. It's the cockpit fully detailed out. Again, it's pretty impressive what they did for $90. If it's getting too hot now where you live, maybe you're looking for something that you can build at the kitchen table. I wouldn't call it a stress reliever, but it's there and in stock. Next in the news of things that are made to aggravate me, a new chassis from Brazin Scale. This is the Mullet chassis, and this is like a adaptation of the Brazin High-Low to work with leaf springs. The High-Low isn't necessarily made to work with a CMS, I believe. This one has now been lengthened to work with a chassis mount servo up front and leaf springs. Rear and or front leaf springs, adjustable wheelbase. It's a leaf sprung, but it's not like a scale leaf sprung chassis because it's got like an angled skid and it's super high. It's like if you want to make a high performance leaf sprung vehicle, which doesn't make any sense at all. But I have no words. You can go read their description. You can read their crazy words on how they describe this thing and the different ways you can build it, which are, partially leafed and fully leafed and not leafed at all. Good work, Brazin Scale. I want to thank Old Time RC for sponsoring this month of the Scale News Update. Old Time RC has got a number of products, and what they're wanting to highlight is their desktop vacuum formers. You've seen me use one of their units for quite some time now. They come in two different sizes, kind of like a standard 8.5 by 11-ish size, and one that's a larger, more like 11 by 17 size. These work great in our range of the hobby, and if you're looking to make products that you can reproduce quickly, vacuum form products make a good fit in there, whether it's custom interiors or I've done body panel pieces off of it. I found a number of uses for mine, and it can really make for some interesting products. So if that's something that may interest you, or you just want to do custom one-off stuff for yourself, similar to what I've done, then check these out. You can get the material directly from them as well if you like, in 4 different thicknesses ranging from 0.3 millimeters to 1 millimeter. Either way, go check out Old Time RC, and they're also running a promotion on free shipping over $200 and free shipping on the vacuum formers as well. So go check them out, oldtimerc.com, linked below. Yesterday, Proline threw up a tease for a new body that they've got coming out, and it was a pretty tight tease. It was just kind of like the front A-pillar looking down, but it does appear that the body's got a pretty good pinch to the front end, and the V6 logo on the side below the A-pillar did look very like 90s Ford-esque somewhere in there. So it might be something like a SCX Pro Ford Ranger comp type body, if I'm guessing. Like the body that was going to be released for the SCX Pro at the outset, but probably meeting the Sorca guidelines for overall height, where the one that they were going to release was a little on the short side. So that's my guess. I'm thinking that we'll see towards the end of this week. You can watch Proline social media if you're looking to get some inside information before you see it on the Scale News next Tuesday. Throw your guess below. We'll see who gets closest to the right answer. Reefs RC just released the $299 LP, now in purple as well. They sell that servo in black. The red, which was kind of a special version, is back and available now also, or you can get the purple. So if you're trying to color match some sort of build you've got going on, you can check that out. Reefs states that those $299 LPs are great in drift and drag situations, but any place that you could use a low profile servo with around 300 ounces of power, they're a great fit. So check those out, linked below. More specs on the Traction Hobbies 1/8 scale Raptor have been released. Now they've got it in kind of a sheet format where you kind of have to go through and use like Google Lens to translate it since it's an image, but this does appear to be an all new body. I was kind of wondering if it's going to be that JD Models body that was previously released under like the Hero name, but it appears that this is an actual new hard body, and it's really, really big. So price and information on this doesn't seem to be stable yet. I see differing information flying all over. So I'm kind of interested to actually see this and start seeing it next to maybe some other models where we can get some sort of confirmation of scale. But it does look cool, and long wheelbase, large tire, full body. It's going to be an interesting fit into the market. For those of you retro Tamiya fans, Tamiya is re-releasing the Grasshopper in the candy green, the color that I felt like these always should be available in with the Grasshopper name. It just makes the most sense. I imagine that this is really only going to pique the interest of the vintage people out there, those that maybe have some sort of love for the Grasshopper just because of its nostalgia. But candy green, if you're going to build one, it seems like the one to go with. This Friday, Matt from the Scale Builders Guild and myself will be releasing our second 24-hour of Mayhem series. Check that out. That'll be releasing early Friday morning. The 24 Hours Mayhem series is pretty much like what it sounds. Matt and I both start with the same platform, and we have 24 hours to change it up to try and do something. This time, tune in just to see how differently Matt and I's brains work from each other. Speaking of, this Wednesday, Matt's got an episode of Road to the Rockies coming up. Check in on our progress building our rig or rigs, we'll see, for the TGH Rocky Mountain Regional Championships that's coming up in less than 30 days. Terrifying. And after you watch that, Wednesday night livestream takeover, Matt and I will be discussing everything wrong with everything and Flying Cars trivia this week. I'm almost positive of it. Tune in for that. And if you haven't watched Flying Cars yet, you can get it on Amazon for free, I think, right now. So go do that so you can play along. Last week, I posed the question to you guys about what was the last time or what is the thing about RC that at times can stress you out? You know, pressure on yourself from something building, something breaking, trying to buy something, racing, whatever it was. And you guys gave some answers, and a lot of you just do the best job at separating and be like, nope, there's no stress for me in it. I just relax with it. Those of you that are able to do that, I need to take lessons from. But for this week, I want to know, what is the most relaxing part of RC for you? Is it actually just sitting and tinkering, music playing, a movie going, whatever it is, it's quiet in the house? Or is it out on the trail with friends or by yourself? Whatever, like what is the part of RC that you find to just be the most calming, most relaxing, or most fun? Let's hear it. With that, I hope you're all having a great start to your week. I hope you had a good weekend. Long week ahead, as always. Let's get through it. Thanks, as always, for watching the Scale News Update every Tuesday. Hit the like button if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you're not already. Hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get uploaded. As always, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.